What? AunTeaFee? Huh? Well, I don't have no problem with these people. I like the jazz. They have a problem with us. We don't have no problem with them. Ha! Shelly Cheryl. Oh. It's a cover. The hate is real. When I tell you the hate is real. Ooh, the hate is real. Oh. What we sipping? What you sipping this Thursday night? What we sipping? I ain't never seen, I don't know if I've been this close to seeing them fighting and being disruptive for a cover-up. Stanford mom. Hello. You on that green tea? Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm sleeping. Lord, I hope you stay safe. They hate you for real. Oh, that's pretty. Hey, stop playing. I'm back. I'm going to try not to be long. The hate is real. Oh, excuse me. For Carmelo Anthony, baby. Ooh, I'm praying for you, your mama, your daddy. I think it's a cover-up. I think some of this hate is because they know. It's just too much hate unnecessarily. And they keep leaving them out. Baby, if ain't nothing I do, I am not going to let them forget about Hunter. Oh, y'all come on in.
Steps to the redemption of definitive black manhood. I want the brothers to check it out. It is a dynamic program for your brother based on the Nile Valley priesthood blueprint. Also included what's needed in America to, for the brothers to elevate to the level of kingship, godship. I want you to get over there, check it out. There's nothing like it. Check it out, generalseti.com, SETI University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different over there right now. We got to donate. I appreciate you very much. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels for Black America. And they don't report shit on these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals. Shit is something, it's just certain people. And, when it comes to black people, all they do is report the worst of our people. You see, and they gonna always, come from the perspective that our people's is we the most violent, black culture is the worst culture in America, you see, and so anything they report, they gonna come from that perspective. And these two, what I call them, half-breed haters, you see that always
half-breed haters
thing that they report on black people is something negative.
Yeah,
something
I've noticed that.
Ain't got nothing to say nice. And don't report nothing on these Cro-Magnon Neanderthal. You see, on that level. You see, even though, our people got problems, that's true. But it's a whole lot of other motherfuckers on the planet got problems too. And a lot of times, they problems is far beyond any goddamn thing going on in the black community.
His mouth is
so
bad,
huh? The poster boy.
Hey, Betty. Hey, Willie.
Negative in black America, and they don't report shit on these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals, shooting up shit everywhere. Goddamn it, more mass murders, mass shootings than any other country in the goddamn world. And,
oh, Lord.
And the ones that is spearheading all that tragedy in the schools, shooting up schools. It don't matter whether they're young
I may have to come back to him.
You see, they just shooting up every goddamn...
I may have to come back. Well, let me move past, Ooh. You think he feel that? Something, they spewing hate, y'all. And I'm assuming that's why he got all of these, these GDs coming out his mouth. Let's check out this. This is what I was trying to listen to earlier. Let's go to this one.
Ramirez and 3 others enter the bathroom. Seconds later.
On Fox Soul, challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams ready to go blow by blow.
Can y'all hear me?
Face off on Fox Soul starts.
He was going in. Yeah, there was too many goddamns and.
Of Case in Allison, who's charged in the fatal stabbing of Joe Ramirez at Belton High School in 2022.
3 new witnesses took the stand: a bystander in the bathroom during the fight, another good friend of Ramirez, and Ramirez's brother.
News 10's Madison Herber has more on what was brought up in court today.
Before the jury was even brought in, Judge Wade Faulkner warned those connected to Ramirez not to engage with social media news outlets about the case. That came after someone connected to the victim commented on our Facebook post about the trial. Once the jury was seated, cross-examination continued on the witness brought in late yesterday. Joshua Grimes told the court he and Ramirez were good friends. He was also in the bathroom the day of the fight. Grimes responded to a number of questions asked by the defense with, "I don't know, sir."
Another Texas. Now they finna go in and, do their black and white thing.
Grimes responded with, "The police didn't ask." Both sides refreshed the court and witnesses' memory by replaying the hallway security footage and the video
Man,
of
you
the fight.
look too graphic
In the hallway
for me.
video, you see Ramirez and 3 others enter the bathroom. Seconds later, you see Ramirez and Grimes in the doorway arguing with Raina Barber.
Y'all please come in, hitting the like button.
Barber argues with them for about a minute before storming off. Then right after, another student walks in, and then about 20 seconds after that, you see Allison and his friend calmly enter the bathroom. The fight happens in a matter of minutes, and then you see Ramirez and some of his friends run out. The other student, who was just a witness, leaves, and then you see Allison run out and another student following him. Grimes said that he doesn't remember Allison wanting to fight. Grimes also said that he didn't know Ramirez to be a fighter, which is different from what was said yesterday by friends of Ramirez and Allison. The final person to take the stand today is brother to the victim, Josh Rios. They are related by marriage and have been related since they were 2. He explained to the court that prom was the Saturday before the May 3rd fatal fight.
After such
Rios
a-
provided a different perspective of the conflict.
In this round, here's Quanell X.
Charles, this is a case involving murder that took place in Belton County, Texas, at Belton High School in 2022. The suspect, Mr. Casey Allison, and the victim, Joe Ramirez, 2 high school students who got into an altercation in the bathroom. And the suspect, Mr. Allison, who is white, stabs and kills Mr. Ramirez in this fight. We've heard
He already moving. You see how he moving, y'all? Hold on. He already moving. Yeah, because that ain't what he was expecting. He was expecting, yeah, he already, like, yeah, trifling. They can show make excuses.
Grimes responded to a number of questions asked by 3 others enter the bathroom.
In this round,
Yeah.
here's Quanell X.
case, there have been no high profile
Since they were 2.
and the victim, Joe Ramirez, 2 high school students who got into an altercation in the bathroom. And the suspect, Mr. Allison, who is white, stabs and kills Mr. Ramirez in
Yeah,
this fight.
now you gotta
We've
reposition
heard nothing
himself.
across America about this case. There have been no high-profile coverage across the country about this case. We've had
Why?
Pride Brothers or Proud Brothers
Why?
or white organizations
Why?
marching in Belton County
Why?
demanding that Mr. Allison be prosecuted.
Why?
Spend life in prison.
Why?
We've had no white folks all over TikTok
Why?
speaking about how Mr. Allison should
Why?
visit
Why?
and justice be served swiftly.
Why?
But why?
Why?
Because in this case, the suspect
Is-
killing the victim
Uh-huh.
is a white
With a
suspect
knife
killing
at
a
school.
brown young man, Mr. Ramirez.
Let's
But
go.
in Carmelo Anthony's case,
Yeah, he's a killer.
everybody around America, especially in white and black circles, got something to say about this, and the media has been giving continuous coverage of the Carmelo Anthony case. But what about this case in Belton County?
Nope. I looked for it for a
Very
couple of
similar
days.
circumstances. On school property, like Frisco, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
involving 2 students like Frisco, Texas. One produces a knife, stabs his aggressor, and the suspect charged with murder is claiming self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
Same way in Frisco, Texas. But where's all of these voices condemning Mr. Allison as a scumbag murderer like you did against Carmelo Anthony? You don't hear none of that.
Why?
Because I believe the suspect is white in white Belton County who killed a young man of color.
Okay, so let me throw you a curveball, because what you're framing this is, oh, white America is, now you're complaining that white America isn't rallying for Casey, and I think it's Casey, not Casey, Allison. The problem is a lot of the people that were upset about the Carmelo Anthony situation was that people who were mostly people of color were donating hundreds of thousands of dollars,
So?
making all kind of crazy posts. I saw one today that it claimed that the cause of death for Austin Metcalf was using Molly, right? Not a.
Are you serious? Are you serious? So you already making excuses about what people were posting? So what people was posting, and because black people or white people or people donated is the reason why the racist people came out and the sheet fell off. Child.
Knife to the heart. And there were all these people on social media justifying the murder. And I think they were justifying it because it was a white kid killed by a black guy.
No.
Racism, although we pretend it's only a
That-
stream that runs both ways, it's not. It's
We're
perfect.
justifying it because he was attacked. And because he was attacked, He stuck him, and it wind up killing him, period. Had he not touched him before he got popped, so you lying. You're not even being truthful. You got integrity issues. It didn't have nothing to do with that. You lying.
Wheel of racism. I'll say it real quick. Case and Allison, absolute scumbag murder, right? He is a horrible human being. I hope that he gets convicted, and I don't care at all the fact that he's white and his victim was a person of color. In fact, I believe that if Carmelo Anthony was the victim and Austin Metcalf...
Y'all, if y'all don't get them likes up...
I heard you say anything other than we need to go put Austin Metcalf in prison for life, right? I think your perception is completely determined by race, whereas mine has nothing to do with it. Let's talk about this Case and Allison case a bit. Okay, it was a fight. I think everyone agrees. I think there's a video floating around that we couldn't find that talked about in court that Joe Ramirez did throw the first punch. And then Kaysen responded by throwing a punch with a knife in his hand, killing this child in the bathroom of this high school. It's disgusting. But this was a long simmering dispute. And in that long simmering dispute, we have text message where Kaysen had previously asked a friend, bro, bring me a gun. Where Kaysen had expressed a desire to put Joe Ramirez in the hospital, right? In fact, he said, wanted Joe on life support, wanted to stomp his head in, wanted his jaw dangling from his face, and wanted him in the hospital. It is absolutely no doubt that Case Allison was looking for a fight.
Now
and
you're
armed
wrong.
himself.
Now let me correct you.
Okay, correct me. Yeah,
According to his defense team,
are you on? Well, that
one
doesn't mean I'm
second.
wrong. That's
According to his defense team, those threats were going both ways.
Oh yeah, sure.
And right now, the prosecution is putting on their side of the case, and they're showing Mr. Kaysen as having these threatening text messages. But allegedly, these threats were going both ways. In fact, the attorneys are alleging that Mr. Allison never wanted to fight, that he was forced into agreeing to this fight.
Of course they are.
After he had been threatened multiple times, if he didn't fight, what would happen? Also, allegedly, his lawyers saying they agreed to fight off campus away from school, but when they went into the bathroom, his lawyers are claiming that Mr. Allison was jumped by more than just Ramirez. One of his friends jumped in.
See how they changed the story?
To a punch, he got afraid that they were going to jump him. He pulled the knife and stabbed him. That's what the defense is saying in this case. So I'm asking you, if it is true, Mr. Allison's version of events, that he did not want to fight, he was forced into the fight. He goes into the bathroom, and he sees they getting ready to jump him in the bathroom. They swing on him first. He pulls knife to defend himself. Is he a scumbag murderer?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
In fact, but there's other evidence, right? And I'm not. Are we shocked that the defense team is saying that? Oh no, it was
no, these are all text.
But there's
no. The defense says this. The defense also says this, that they're going to produce a video, allegedly.
Okay, I don't care.
A video where they went to this boy's house.
You don't take
and tried to get him to come outside to fight.
To a fist fight.
Okay.
You call the police, and in fact, Allison was.
So he don't believe in stand your ground.
Catch them tomorrow. I'm going to send him to the hospital. This was somebody instigating a crime.
Oh, y'all crazy.
I believe Anthony went to the tent to instigate a conflict, but we got to wait on the evidence of that.
So where's the protesters
you're not gonna...
demanding that he be put in prison? Okay. Where are these white protests, all these white commentators demanding that Mr. Kaysen, Mr. Allison, go to prison?
In your world, what should be happening is white people should be paying for his bond and paying for his defense.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the selective vitriol.
Maybe there are more non-racist people that say, hey,
it's repugnant to me.
What do you mean selective vitriol?
Because where's the vitriol for this man?
And there's all kinds
of the same subject.
White
folks get mad about this.
Black, brown, green, alien, I don't care.
Where's the media coverage?
Anyone.
Where's the national media coverage?
Right here.
No, come on, man.
Right here.
We don't want talking about this.
Okay, well, that's good.
Where's national media coverage?
That's why everyone should watch the show.
If this was Carmelo Anthony's case, where's the media coverage?
Anyone.
Where's the national media coverage?
Right here.
No, come on, man.
Right here.
We don't want talking about this.
Okay, well, that's good.
Where's national media coverage?
That's why everyone should watch the show.
If this was Carmelo Anthony's case, it'd be blown through the world to see. But now, because a white boy did the same exact thing that Carmelo Anthony is alleging.
He real calm about it, ain't he?
What blew Carmelo Anthony's case all around the world was social media. And it it was the idiots on social media that were making up stuff and justifying this.
But you have the same idiots in Belton County making the same comments in this case.
First of all, Belton County, much smaller town. It's not, Frisco is part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which if you include...
Excuses. Justification. He's white.
There's no justification.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Austin, what Anthony did to Metcalf. Here we have what looks like, in your description, was a long-standing, bitter dispute between two kids that one kid unnecessarily escalated. But any kid that brings a knife to a fist fight is a scumbag. Any kid that murders someone at school.
But where's all these angry white voices in this case? The angry white voices are everywhere in Carmelo Anthony case. But there are no angry white voices in this one. You can hear crickets. They prosecuting Carmelo Anthony.
Good. But
and hold on. Now wait a minute. You talk about the money that was raised.
Okay.
Where it came out that none of that money was used to post this bond.
It's still a bunch of...
1 second.
Because some celebrity rapper walked in...
So it's our money, though. We can do what we want to do. So now y'all gonna try to listen. So now they want to dictate how we spend our money. So because we, the people, chose to pay into his fund, the racist people came in to attack. Is that what he's saying? Because Carmelo Anthony was supported for standing his ground in self-defense. It pissed y'all the fuck off. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? So y'all wanted everybody to turn their back on Carmelo Anthony. Did anybody in your race turn their back on Kyle Rittenhouse? No. Did you turn your back on Zimmerman? No. So why should we turn our back on Carmelo Anthony? Because two white boys put their hands on him. Yeah. He know he wrong.
Conservatives lied.
Because it was a bunch of money. It was our money, though. We didn't ask y'all to help. We did not ask y'all to help. So what difference does it make? It's our money.
There's just no justification for what Anthony did to
Austin. What Austin did.
What looks like in your description was a long-standing, bitter dispute between two kids that one kid unnecessarily escalated. But any kid that brings a knife to a fist fight is a scumbag.
That's my choice. That's a person's choice.
Angry white voices in this case. The angry white voices are everywhere in Carmelo Anthony case. But there are no angry white voices in this one. You can hear crickets. They prosecuting Carmelo Anthony.
Good. But
and hold on. Now wait a minute. You talk about the money that was raised.
Okay.
Where it came out that none of that money was used to post this bond.
It's still a bunch of...
1 second.
Because some celebrity rapper walked in and paid it.
Not a penny was given for enough money for his defense team.
Okay, a celebrity rapper came in and dropped down a bunch of money.
Conservatives lied and said the family used the money
lied.
for $1 million house.
In fact...
They lied and said my $1 million house. They lied and said the family used that money to buy a brand new Cadillac.
I didn't say
and
that.
all that was a damn lie.
Okay.
Not a single penny.
You did go along with it.
There were people that say that Metcalf and Hunter both jumped him. That was a lie. That Metcalf and Hunter are racist. That was a lie. That Metcalf was on drugs. That was a lie. Horrible lies have been told. And yes, I agree. The dishonesty is disgusting. But it doesn't change it.
Sir, did you not hear Hunter? See, this is what irritates me, y'all. They act like they forget what Hunter said. It's like you act like you've heard everything else, but you don't remember what Hunter said. What did Hunter say? Why are you omitting what Hunter? That's what Hunter said. Hunter said his brother jumped in to help him because that's what his brother do. So that's not a lie. Y'all trying to make it a lie. That's a part of the cover up. That's a part of the cover up. Yeah. You are a part of the cover up. Y'all hit the like button. You're part of the cover-up.
I think what you were hoping for was that we would sit down here and I would see that Case and Allison, who has the whitest name I've ever heard, Cason, right? That Case and Allison, I would be justifying his stabbing murder of a classmate.
No,
but I'm not.
what I want to hear
because
from you.
it's disgusting.
What I want to hear
and
from
it's
you
not
is
self-defense.
why is it?
Just like it wasn't
where's all
self-defense
these
in
millions
Frisco.
of white
I
folks
don't speak for white
who are
people.
angry with Carmelo Anthony,
Okay.
and they going publicly with this anger. They ain't got nothing but cricket. They so quiet. My grandmother used to say you could hear rat piss on cotton.
Well,
that's how quiet
Rats
white
piss
folks
on
are.
cotton.
In this case, where the young perpetrator is a white student killing a brown.
I can ask you where all the millions
White pissing on
of
cotton.
black people justifying what Carmelo did, why aren't they sticking up for Case and Allison? That's the same question. Because
Let me
he's
be
white.
honest with you.
And no, hold on. I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Right? Here's the thing. I don't think anyone is rallying around this guy because of his skin color. I think a lot of people are rallying behind
You don't
Anthony
think them
because
white
of his skin
folks
color.
that went to Frisco, Texas, and held a march called White
No, I'm talking
Lives
about
Matter?
Cason. No, that was disgusting. That was disgusting.
That's based
It
on
was
skin
not
color.
as disgusting as the press conference
but wait a
that
minute.
Anthony had,
Wait
but
a
it
minute.
was disgusting.
Did
and
you-
Metcalf's father
but-
said it was
But
disgusting.
did you see?
Well, how he know it's
Did you
disgusting?
see Django at that rally? Hell no, Django wasn't there. But
don't-
Chicken George was there.
Okay.
You see
I don't know-
Buckwheat?
I don't know who
Buckwheat was at the rally. You ain't see
I
it?
don't know who those people are.
You just see Stephanie Fletcher.
I don't know.
You just
Buckwheat.
see boot licking behind kissing
Oh,
the
okay.
Cotton
You're
Brothers.
talking about African Americans that went to social
No, I'm talking
support.
about the one Negro that was at the Frisco rally. All the white folks talking about the white man died, and this is shameful. And black people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Where y'all find that Negro?
I think
That
right
Negro
there. You
was
said
the
where
most
did y'all?
pathetic
As if there is
expression
some.
of a black man I've ever seen.
But see-
Buckwheat, Chicken George, Stepping and Fetching. Where they find that Negro from? It looked like they pulled him out of a closet somewhere where they been keeping him and brought him out to public, and he's still saying, "White lives matter."
Well,
Where y'all find this white man from?
I mean, I
he was
think-
black,
I think
but he was
white
damn
lives
sure
do
white
matter. I
minded.
think black lives matter. I think lives matter generally. But
Lives matter.
They
But
find the
hold
most
on,
craziest
hold on, it's
Negroes
my
to speak for
turn.
him, don't they?
Look,
They find the crack. Y'all get the likes up.
have rallies and get attention here, but the
They-
truth is, you don't have this.
Where y'all find this white man from?
I mean, I
he was
think-
black,
I think
but he was
white
damn
lives-
sure. And black people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Where y'all find that Negro?
I think
That
right
Negro
there. You said
was the
where
most
did y'all?
pathetic
As if there is
expression
some.
of a black man I've ever seen. Buckwheat, Chicken George, Stepping and Fetching. Where they find that
Stepping
Negro
and Fetching.
It's like they pulled him out of a closet somewhere where they been keeping him and brought him out to public, and he's still saying, "White lives matter." Well, where y'all find this white man?
Stitching and catching.
He was black,
I think
but he was
white
damn
lives
sure
do
white
matter. I
minded.
think black lives matter. I think lives matter generally. But
Well,
that's
I mean,
just
they
me.
find
But
the
hold
most
on,
craziest
hold on, it's
Negroes
my
to speak
turn.
for him, don't they?
Look, obviously there are people that want to have rallies and get attention here, but the truth is that you don't have this groundswell of support for Case and Allison. because
Buckwheat.
Looking at that case,
I'm gonna call it right now.
neutral
I'm gonna call it
of
right now.
Buckwheat.
I'm not guilty.
I don't think
He gonna what?
In fact,
You think I'm found guilty?
I don't think he
You
should.
think he'll be found guilty?
If the judges do, people that want to have rallies.
Man I've ever seen.
But see,
Stepping and Fetching.
I don't know
You
who
just
it is
you
that
just see
people are.
boot licking behind kissing
Oh,
the
okay.
Cotton
You're-
Brothers.
Boot licking behind kissing.
No, I'm talking.
Murder of a class.
No.
Fetching and catching. Wait a minute.
It's self-defense.
Why is it?
Just like it wasn't
where's all
self-defense
these
in
millions
prison. I don't speak for white
who are
people.
angry with Carmelo Anthony,
Okay.
and they going publicly with this anger? They ain't got nothing but cricket. They so quiet. My grandmother used to say you can hear rat piss on cotton.
Well,
That's how
Rats
quiet
piss
white
on
people
cotton.
are. In this case, where the young perpetrator is a white student killing a brown.
I can ask you where all the millions of angry black people justifying what Carmelo did, why aren't they sticking up for Case and Allison? That's the same question. Because
Let me
he's
be
white.
honest with you.
And no, hold on. I'll let you talk. Let me talk. Right? Here's the thing. I don't think anyone is rallying around this guy because of his skin color. I think a lot of people are rallying
You
behind
don't
Anthony
think them
because
white
of his skin
folks
color.
that went to Frisco,
Cynical
Texas,
Gear
the more
said that
white guys
AunTeaFee is racist. Do y'all know what?
That's basically
Y'all crazy.
It was disgusting. And Metcalf's father said it was
But
disgusting.
did you see Chicken George at that rally? Did you see Django at that rally? Hell no, Django wasn't there. But Chicken George was there.
Okay.
You see Buckwheat?
I don't know.
Buckwheat was at the rally. You ain't see
I
it?
don't know who those people are.
You just see Steppin' Infection.
Stepping the fiction.
You just see bootlicking behind kissing.
Oh, okay.
Cotton
You're
brother.
talking about African Americans that went to show
No, I'm talking
support
about the
for-
one Negro. That was at the Frisco rally. All the white folks talking about the white man died, and this is shameful. And black people, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Where y'all find that Negro? That Negro
Right there. You
was
said,
the
where
most
did y'all?
pathetic
As if there's
expression
some-
of a black man I've ever seen. Buckwheat, Chicken George, Steppin' Infection. Where they find that Negro from? It looked like they pulled him out of a closet somewhere where he been keeping him and brought him out to public, and he's still saying, "White lives matter."
Well,
Where y'all find this white man from?
I mean, I
I'm
think-
kidding.
I
He was
think-
black,
I
but
think
he was
white
damn
lives
sure
do
white
matter. I
minded.
think Black Lives Matter. I think lives matter generally.
They
Me.
find
But
the
hold
most
on,
craziest
hold on, it's
Negroes
my
to speak
turn.
for them, don't they?
Look,
They sure do.
there are people that want to have rallies and get attention here, but
And he was thirsty,
you don't
and his
have
teeth
this-
popped
this
out.
groundswell of support for Case and Allison because people are looking at that case.
I'm gonna call it right now.
neutral
I'm gonna
of
call it
race.
right now. He
Go
gonna be
ahead.
found not guilty.
I don't think he will. Right? In fact,
You think he'll be found guilty?
I don't think he should.
You think he'll be found guilty?
If the judge is doing a job, right? His
Hey,
job.
when I ask you,
No, I think he'll be found guilty.
I say not guilty in this case.
Okay.
You know why?
Racism.
Why?
Okay.
Because you and I both know down in Belton County.
Belton County, pretty Belton County. But I think that they
Everybody down there waving "Make America Great Again" flag.
have, and I'll explain.
I don't think that poor little Hispanic family gonna have a chance down there with that jury.
Okay. Belton is pretty diverse when you look at there is a lot of.
Yeah, and you won't be.
They ain't sitting on that
I'm
jury.
finna.
Let's talk about the law. It's section 932 of the Texas Penal Code lists when you can use deadly force. And someone punching you is not something that you can use deadly force in the state of Texas, right? I don't think the judge should even give.
They acting funny on the like button.
Yes, you have to be in legitimate fear of your life.
Even if
Getting
you got more
punched,
than one person, quote unquote, maybe
if they're
attacking you.
stomping on your head or something, but we don't have any facts like that, just like we don't in the Anthony matter. I don't think he should be entitled to the instruction on self-defense. In fact, I think that would be error for the judge to let the jury consider it.
I say he gonna let it
I think
happen.
this scumbag needs to
He
get.
gonna let it happen.
I think this scumbag who happens to be white should spend the rest
You
of
and
his
I
life
both
in
know.
prison, just like I think
You and I
Anthony
both
should.
know if
And I think it's
that's-
hypocrisy
You and I both
for you
know
to say the
if that's-
converse.
If that's the defense's position,
Okay.
that it was self-defense. If the young man, when he was questioned by law enforcement,
He said the
and-
same thing Anthony
the same
said.
exact,
I was protecting
it was
myself.
self-defense. You and I both know the jury is going to be allowed to hear that,
Okay.
and the jury will be allowed
How
to
about you?
will be allowed to consider that.
How about you? You know, you think Anthony was absolutely entitled to self-defense?
Absolutely.
An unarmed kid in the chest and killing. We've heard that from you on this show. Do you think Allison was justified in killing Ramirez?
I'm gonna be very honest with you.
That'd be a nice change of
I'm
pace.
gonna be dead honest with you, man, because I'm consistent. If the young white kid, Mr. Allison, absolutely did not want to fight, and he was afraid to fight, like you say, one. If they tried to jump him in that bathroom, and he was afraid for his safety and his life, but he tried to jump him, and he pulled that.
But he's not saying he's
That's what
afraid.
he's
That's-
alleged.
that's-
what he's alleged. Yes, he is. So if he's saying that he stabbed them because they were trying to jump him and he didn't want to fight, be honest with you, I don't think it's murder. It may be manslaughter.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight,
Okay, well,
and he didn't want to fight
so do you?
per the slain guy's friend.
I believe that Carmelo Anthony really defended himself. In
From
all
what?
honesty, Let me
From
say
being
this.
shoved?
To be honest with you, when you look at Carmelo Anthony, 135 pounds, you look at the young man who was terroristically threatening him, who physically put his hands
You're
on him.
making that up,
No,
but
that's
go
not
ahead.
true. Who physically put his hands on him, and he's 220 pounds. I believe that Carmelo Anthony was afraid for his life, and he used that weapon in self-defense. I don't think Carmelo tried to kill him.
No,
think
I
Carmelo
don't.
used that weapon to get him off of him and to get away from him.
Absolutely.
But I don't think he tried to kill him. I think the death was the end result, but I don't think that Carmelo went to the track meet looking for trouble. I don't think he brought a weapon looking for trouble. And when
Facts.
it really comes out about the weapon part, a lot of people are going to be shocked by that.
Okay, so.
Because it's not a
You
knife.
don't
Let me
think-
say this. It's not a knife like they're saying.
Okay.
and that young man didn't go get no butcher knife or go to the store and buy no knife and put that in that bag or distract me, you're gonna be shocked at the fact that comes out what kind of weapon it really was.
But you don't think, right? That's just your opinion. But if we talk about the facts, right?
I don't think it was murder in either case.
Okay, you don't think
If
shoving
what
a
these
knife
young, if what
into the
these
middle
young,
of someone's
if
chest
what these young men
is
are
murder?
alleging is
Hey,
true,
keep your hands
that
to
they were
yourself.
threatened and forced into a
He's not,
conflict situation,
Anthony has
and
not
he was
alleged
assaulted.
that he was threatened.
Yes, he was.
No,
Yeah.
No, he does.
No one
Yes.
said, I'm
No,
gonna
that's not
kill
true.
you, Anthony. No one said, like,
Excuse me. You don't have to tell somebody I'm a.
Ramirez's friend who was filming said that Kaysen did not want to fight. So I don't know what you read. Can you read, sir? Can you hear? You don't have a good ear. You don't have a good ear because the witness for her Rodriguez Hernandez Garcia, whatever, said that Kaysen did not want to fight. Y'all keep wanting, you white boys want to try to force people to fight y'all. Shit.
You just threatened them.
To make them think you're
Now
threatening
you,
them.
you're a former cop.
What did Anthony?
You're a former
What
cop
did
and
Metcalf
a
say?
former lawyer.
What did
You and I
Metcalf say?
both know you ain't got to say I'm gonna kill
Right.
you
Hey,
for it to be considered
I
terroristic
think
threat.
Anthony could have shoved him back, but what is it that you think Metcalf
Now let me
said
be honest with
to
you.
justify his murder?
I really wish, in all honesty,
Because we know what Kaysen said.
I wish that Carmelo had ran away. I really do.
Okay.
Because
so do I.
I'm
But it
certain
ain't
that
against
right
the,
now
but
Carmelo
the
had ran
stand
away.
your ground, say stand your ground. You don't have to
Yeah,
run.
treat him like a hero, like a warrior for justice.
No, Carmelo had a right.
Oh, he hate that, don't he?
No, he
He
didn't.
was trying to get out the rain.
You
was
cannot,
no law.
that you can't,
So it's
no,
pouring down
there's
raining.
no law that says you
Charles,
can't go in the other
it's
team's
pouring
dugout.
down raining. He can't go up in the
You know,
damn tent.
okay.
It's pouring down raining.
But again,
Come
what
on,
is it that Metcalf said? You said he terroristically
He
threatened him.
threatened.
Well, what did he say?
Carmelo,
How did he
and
threaten?
that's going to
What
come
did he
out.
say? What did he say?
If you don't move, I'm a such and such.
Oh, what's he said? If you
I don't want to
move,
get
I'm
too
such and
deep
such.
into it. But if you don't move, such and such is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And Charles.
So none of the witnesses said that.
But
you believe
where's
it.
the massive white outrage for this case on the Belton Texas?
Because I think that there are people that are viewing it
Because
in a
white
race-neutral
folks
way.
don't care what that young white boy did.
No, white people
They don't care.
They don't
But
care.
A black man killing a white person in this country?
No, it's disgusting.
There's always
to
been white rage for that one.
No, it's disgusting to justify a school murder just because the murderer
They
is
gonna
black.
let that dude
That's
off.
what you did.
Belton
No,
County jury
hey,
gonna let him off. Watch.
Watch. This kid is
Remember I
going to go
told
to
you,
prison,
watch.
and Anthony should follow him in prison.
we're gonna see.
And that's what we should have in America. We should have consequences to people bringing violent, deadly weapons to school and killing people.
Ooh, wee, man.
Hey, besties.
Ooh, y'all hold on.
She's fun. It's about to be a good.
Ooh. Does it sound like he making excuses to y'all? Do he sound like he making excuses to you? Sound like he has a whole different type of passion? Even saying, I think it's disgusting. He says that nicely. I ain't never seen him be this nice. Oh, wow. And for what's the guy name that was in my, what's the guy name I just called out? Okay. Who want to say I'm a racist. I don't think my race is superior to others. All we're asking for is equality. Yeah. So I'm not racist. I just want my people to be looked at equally, not superior. See, that word right there, superior to others, is where y'all become racist. How y'all acted and refusing to, when I asked about Hunter, what should happen to Hunter, and y'all refuse, that's because y'all think y'all superior. You know, like there is no reason to bring up Hunter because Hunter didn't do anything wrong. Yeah. That right there, superior to others, is how I know I ain't racist. Yeah, we just want to be treated equally. Just want the equal law. Okay? Now go run tell that. Okay? Yes, indeed. Y'all be saying stuff and y'all don't do the research. Ain't nobody discriminating. Prejudice. No. 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 Violent. No. We just want to be treated equal. And y'all have a problem with that because you are racist. So don't try to put your disease on me. That's your disease.
Frame or view an issue. I think that is at the heart of racism. I think when this kid, Casey Allison, who's no longer a kid, this young man, decided to pull out a knife and kill a guy.
Why do y'all keep just saying like a knife? Like, what about when Zimmerman pulled a gun? Is the gun better than the knife? I mean, is it a coward because they had a knife? Or is it a coward because you felt threatened and you pulled a semi-automatic? I think that's crazy how they justify that. Yeah, I went back too far.
We are given the platform here.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. For him to say, you pulled a knife, that's a coward. Well, if you pulled a gun and shot people in their back, what is that?
Black hip hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
You interrupt me on.
Tonight or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I think we should be uniform in our position on anything, on everything, and that race shouldn't determine how we frame or view an issue. I think that is at the heart of racism. I think when this kid, Casey Allison, is no longer a kid, this young man, decided to pull out a knife and kill a guy he had beef with in his high school, he committed murder. Much like I think Carmelo Anthony, when he pulled out a knife and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the heart and killed him, that was murder. In the state of Texas, you cannot respond to mere physical force, whether it be a touching or a push, which is what Anthony alleged happened, or a punch, which is what everyone is alleging Joe Ramirez did to Casey Little. You cannot respond to that with a deadly weapon using deadly force to kill someone. It's not allowed by the law in Texas. It should not be considered by either court. Neither judge should allow for an instruction on it. And what we should be telling kids is don't kill people, period.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Conversation serious with our young people. Social media is being used as extreme peer pressure to get a lot of our young people into physical conflicts and physical violence. Teach our young people that it's not weak. It doesn't make you a coward to walk away from conflict and go to an adult and ask for assistance and help in resolving the conflict. Peer pressure is causing many of our young people to get involved in violent acts that ends up with somebody going to the graveyard, somebody going to prison, or somebody being put in a hospital with irreparable damage. It's wrong what's happening in America with social media and the peer pressure of our young people. Let us come together and do something about this, because this is going to continue to happen over and over again. People making threats on social media and being on social media where they're going to fight, where the fight's going to take place. And you got all these cowards pumping them up. And when they get in trouble, the cowards ain't got nothing to say in your defense or send you 1 penny in commissary.
I'm Isaiah Carey, here to shake things up with the stories that hit.
Y'all get the likes up.
After such a heinous sense.
Get the likes up. Is this the one? I don't know.
We
actually canceling the meet because of the rain.
I'm trying to find.
And this might be the reason why today they had to move the family to another location. And who is this gang that wants to kill?
Can you get the likes up, please?
Shit on these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals, shooting up shit everywhere. Goddamn it, more mass murder, mass shootings than any other country in the goddamn world, and the ones that are spearheading all that tragedy in the schools, shooting up schools. It don't matter whether they're young or old. You see, they just shooting up every goddamn thing. Got more heat in the little heat that niggas do got. They done got from them Cro-Magnon Neanderthals, because niggas don't make no guns, and so it would be easy if these so-called law-abiding Cro-Magnon Neanderthals wasn't allowing so many undocumented guns getting off into the black community or into the public, at large, and so, they know where it's coming from. If they got a warehouse that is made in, or if it's imported, or goddamn it, they got a serial number on it, so they know where it came from. And so if it wasn't supposed to be down here in the community, then how in the hell did it get down here? And that's some Cro-Magnon Neanderthal allowed and facilitated the selling of these firearms. Don't take nothing off people pulling the trigger, but we got to start. We got to, if we looking to bring an end to certain crime, you got to go up and down the chain of how that shit got here. You can't just stop at one. You see, you can't just say, oh, well, they shot. Well, how that shit get down here? You see, and nevertheless, when you look at all these peoples out here that is shooting, a lot of them underage, their parents bought the shit for them. Oh.
Carmelo Anthony, well,
I'm gonna beat the crap out of Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony has a lot of ops right now. And you might think it's this guy, but it's not. It's actually coming from inside the walls. And this might be the reason why today they had to move the family to another location. And who is this gang that wants to kill Carmelo Anthony? Well, they're better known yet as ABT, Aryan Brotherhood of Texas.
I just had a CO hit me up that works in the state of Texas, and he told me that they've already gotten word that the Aryan Brotherhood has a hit out on Carmelo Anthony. I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I don't know nothing about them AB dudes. I don't play with their get down. However, I do know how prison politics work, and if they
can y'all believe this?
That is assured to cause a race war on any prison yard that it happens on, and it could extend through the entire state.
The ABT was founded in the 1980s. In 1981, a group of white inmates actually asked permission to start their own branch/chapter in Texas of the Aryan Brotherhood, which the AB actually denied their request, but they went ahead and made one anyways. There was multiple white supremacy gangs in Texas at one time, but the Aryan Society and the Aryan Brothers formed together, while the rest of the white organizations formed together and made Aryan Circle, better known as AC. The ABT and the Aryan Circle went to war for 8 years. Eventually, they had a peace treaty, but then the war kicked back up in 2015, and it's still going to this day. Now, the reason I'm saying that, because we got to get this clear on what organization actually wants
right, if he ain't never had a fight before.
And that is actually the ABT.
Ooh,
and they have forms of organizations underneath them. They have the
I don't care what nobody say.
They also have the Featherwoods, which
whatever
is the
you
women,
need to do to get somebody off you, get them off you.
They actually are a street gang as well, with 3,500 people total in the gang, only 2,600 is actually in prison. And this is why they're saying Carmelo Anthony and his family got moved from that nice house in that neighborhood to a undisclosed location for his safety, because he's got an organization that runs in the inside, and the shot callers are making calls from the inside to some people that are on the outside that are willing to do some work, knowing that they're going to get rewarded for it.
And at the end of the day, you can do all the politics you want in prison. You can do this, you can do that. Everyone can come to an agreement. It only takes one rogue person who has woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Their biscuit was missing from their breakfast tray. Then they went to go to the bathroom, and Johnny McGee stepped on their brand new pair of prison shoes. And then, Larry Left Eye, coughed on the back of their neck in line for the phone. And they're just having the worst day. And you know what? It's all been building up. And you know what? I'm going to beat the crap out of Carmelo Anthony. And it's going to start a whole thing. And it happens. That happens. You do have people, hey, we all understand, we're all on one accord, we've done the prison politics, everything should be fine, and there's peace, we've got it all figured out. It only takes one person, for whatever reason, who just goes off the script and starts a whole thing. It does happen.
From what I heard, people go into probate and they're trying to get their rank up, and to become a member, you have to take a life. So this would be an opportunity for one of them to take a life, to get their rank, to get where they want to go. And if they was smart, they wouldn't take these threats lightly, because this is an official organization. They have literally made other organizations in Texas extinct. For example, the Mandingo Warriors are no longer here because the ABT took them out completely, where they don't have one member left. Now let's get into this dude, Jake Lang. Now this Jake dude has been clout chasing over this Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf tragedy. Even had the father of Austin Metcalf calling his ass out, saying that he's making the situation worse. Now this dude apparently is running for U.S. Senate in my own state, Florida. I will not be voting for this guy. Now this dude also was part of the January 6th riots, and he was actually pardoned by Donald Trump recently. So since he's been out, he's been on this frenzy of trying to get elected as U.S. Senate, and the things that he's saying to Austin Metcalf's dad, like calling him weak. This dude, Jake Lang, is not a father, so let's get that out the gate. He doesn't understand the pain that Austin Metcalf's dad is going through. Now, on top of this dude snuck into the high school, a place where there's children at, and he went and he recorded the blood of Austin Metcalf.
There's the blood stain. There's the blood stain. It's red still. Austin Metcalf's blood. Lord Jesus, help us. He's crying out for justice. His killer is home right now. I gotta get out of here before the police come. I just hopped the fence to get in here. His blood is crying out for justice. We need that killer behind bars. We will not rest. We need to protect white Americans. This scourge of black violence is too much. Okay, Kendall Stadium. We need to uplift our communities. I gotta get out of here, guys. Okay, here it comes.
Now this moment right here doesn't look like somebody that really cares about another white male. It looks like somebody that is clout chasing off another white male to retain votes for his election that he's supposedly going to be running for, which I don't understand how this dude is even qualified to be a U.S. Senate. I wouldn't even let him to be my mayor if I was playing Sin City. Now the police are seeking charges to arrest Jake Lang for sneaking into the high school, doing this video of showing Austin Metcalf's blood on the ground, and then confirming this because he actually shows that he's in the same stadium. He shows the stadium sign. Now, we've seen a little bit of violence, but nothing too crazy when it comes to the Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony situation, besides the situation itself, and RIP to Austin Metcalf. But now we're seeing a little bit of riots happen. You see this woman with purple hair get arrested. Now, the same way Jake Lang is treating Austin Metcalf's dad, Charleston White is treating Carmelo Anthony's dad the same way, calling him sad and pathetic.
Adults coming in playing a race game. The worst thing y'all could do is play the race game in this redneck county, nigga. That black judge, they already working to get her out of there. She will not be a judge in Collin County anymore. And if you from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you know them people don't play out there, nigga. They from out of town. These are outsiders. they will make an example out of that black kid.
Do
And
y'all
black
know he
people
stabbed
will get
somebody?
hung playing a race card. How dumb can you be? This is the time we supposed to say, let's come together. Why can't we all get along? This is that time so we can have his life spurred. They gonna hang that boy. He deserved to go to prison. If you take a life, you ain't supposed to be able to walk away with no consequences. It's consequences to your actions, right or wrong. Even if you justified to take a life, your life wasn't in danger.
Oh.
Now, Charleston White is a walking contradiction, and I'm going to explain why. He says that Carmelo Anthony had no right to stand his ground, but this is coming from somebody that got mad on a podcast and threatened to shoot somebody. This is coming from somebody that literally pepper sprays random rappers because he is just so spooked because he talks so much shit, and when he sees a rapper walking up, he just starts pepper spraying. This guy has no room to talk when it comes to stand your ground laws. And on top of that, he got charged for murder. But the only reason he didn't go to prison is because he snitched on his friends. Now let's get to the facts of the case. They're trying to say Carmelo Anthony didn't have an actual knife, but was using the bottom of a cleat, like the baseball cleat. That is not true. In the police report, it does say knife. Now another thing, Carmelo Anthony wasn't the only one that wasn't part of that team underneath that tent because it just started raining so crazy. Everyone ran to that tent. There was multiple other teams underneath that tent. I honestly wish that this didn't become a circus because now you got both families dealing with a bunch of bullcrap. Now you got them getting swatted. There's been reports of both families getting swatted. And in reality, it's going to be an uphill battle for Carmelo Anthony to prove that this was a self-defense case. It's not looking good for him, and the antics behind this have not made it better in the situation. Hiring people that's woman abusers, child abusers, it's just not a good look. But at the end of the day, and I'm going to say it again, love all people.
For those of us with service animals, preparation is key. Ensure your buddy always has their ID on. Pack a kit with essentials, from food and water to vaccination records.
Trump become the president. They can't tell me nothing. And some black people voted for him as well. And some of the same people that have something to say about Dominique. They wasn't saying nothing about Dominique when they wanted him to go and protest in front of them, the strippers that got killed for acting a fool. That they didn't care nothing about his background and whatever he did to kids or whatever they say he did. He didn't molest them. We know Trump plays with his kids and everybody else's kids between their legs. And furthermore, that happened before he became a civil rights activist. If it was that bad, then they should not have allowed him to be able to become a civil rights activist. So you can kick rocks with that with me. I don't give a shit. They just don't want nobody that knows the law, civil rights law, to assist their kid. They want people to turn on the kid because of Dominique. It's bullshit. That's bullshit. I don't give a rat's ass. Okay? Let's be clear. Yeah. I don't give a rat's ass. Yeah. If he would have helped some of y'all wouldn't have had nothing to say. Yeah, go on with that. And again, dig around their background. Ain't no telling what's there. Ain't no telling. So I will not have anything negative to say about him unless he does something contrary at this time. He done paid his dues to whatever he did before. Yeah. Y'all just want this kid to be without good support. Yeah. They can kiss where the sun don't. Yeah. Hold on. Let me get to the next one before I go. They crazy as hell. They wanted to be able to attack and threaten and nobody be able to move them. They just so green they don't know what to do. And then who they think they can trust, they can't. No. In this situation, they need somebody that was a thug. Woo! And before I go to the while Charleston White was running his mouth, I'm gonna want you next. I'm gonna see what you gotta say. Before I go to that, Charleston White. Did y'all hear the heat? Oh, I just need to let y'all hear it. Hear it with your good ear. This is why I don't like hypocrites. This is why I do not like hypocrites. Yeah. Hold my mule. Hold my mule. Hold my mule. Where you at, baby? Where you at? Because he's a big old hypocrite. Charleston White.
Hi, I'm Dustin, and this is Nathan with Drive Fast USA, Omaha's new Buy Here, Pay Here headquarters. Bad credit.
What up, family?
Shout out to Big Cap.
The only Charleston White. Now, we all know when it comes to Charleston, since day one, he one of them type dudes that bag up what he talk about to be so small. Now, this situation I'm about to get into, it surprised me to see the amount of people that go into situations playing the offense and don't recognize individuals that's playing the defense. Now, Charleston talked a lot of noise.
A lot of noise.
And he got a lot of people that love him. He got a lot of people that hate him. So when it comes to fans and him getting out in traffic, certain fans be wanting to test Charleston White. This is not the first incident that Charleston White have found himself in. Now, do I believe Charleston White care about catching charges? Nope. Have we seen Charleston White catch charges since he been this social media star? About 4, 5, 6 different ones. And it's false. So when it comes to Charleston White and the things that he say on social media, when it comes to talking about other niggas and different things like that, you can't knock him because he stand on it when he be in the public with the people. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, be
now,
rich.
Fast forward. Charleston White, he out in the public. Man pull up on him. And they got to swapping words back and forth. In the midst of that, Charleston White is known for carrying his weapons. He's known for carrying the mace. He's known for carrying that little slasher, little knife. And that's what
hey, LP.
He put it out. And
his little what? His little what? What did he say? Surely he ain't said nothing about no knife.
And that's what he did. He pulled it out. For carrying his weapons. He known for carrying the mace. He known for carrying that little slasher, little knife. And that's what he did. He pulled it out.
Who?
And in the process of that man pulling up on him, he hit him across the head with it. Slashed him.
Hey, David. Who? Now, so, the same man that was just talking about, you know, this is what I'm talking about. These men be acting like pulling out a knife, using a knife is a coward. Right? Huh? Surely, little man didn't pull out a knife. Hey, Vicky. Surely not.
So that man pulling up on him, he hit him across the head with it. Slashed him across his head. Now, the man couldn't believe it. He's like, oh man, nigga done got me cross my head. Now, I said all that to say when it comes to niggas playing the offense, I done seen niggas get killed, bro. I done seen people get hurt. You don't know what the next individual got on their mind when you pulling up trying to fight. See what I'm saying? Everybody ain't trying to fight, fam. So a lot of y'all be seeing individuals just like a Charleston White, and he give you warning before destruction. And this man pulled up anyway and did what he did. Now, on the other hand, when it come to home, Charleston have got away with a lot of different situations in the hip-hop game, fam. I'm talking about when it comes to artists and when it comes to fans. Me personally, with my experience through life, what I've learned, and I'm just keeping it real, fam, you can't continue to do the same thing and expect the same thing to happen. Meaning, you can't keep dipping with Charleston White in these different fights and different assaults that he getting into and think he gonna win all the time, bro. You're gonna meet your match. I'm thinking Charleston White believed that he real tough because ain't nobody, he had one situation when he was in the bottom.
He pulled a knife, bottom line.
On him, he was with his wife.
And he was just talking about Carmelo Anthony.
The rest of the situations, even when it comes to Soulja Boy, Charleston White was the one. We even seen him at the comedy show on the stage. He fighting the assault for that charge now, when he hit the man. So it's real, fam, and I don't be understanding. I mean, he having success. His daughter, he graduating, he buying her cars. He making millions of dollars now. He buying new houses for his wife. He, Dewberry, everybody around him. Niggas that coming up out of prison.
He pulling knives.
Everybody's great. He putting them on the podcast. What they call gang related, not gang related. So Charleston White got a lot of people that's looking for him for support. Like if you get incarcerated or die, homie, that support that you giving your family, fam, and you giving your friends coming up out of prison is more important than the beefing that you doing with people in the streets. What I'm trying to say, it's gonna run out, fam. I have not seen nobody, no rapper, no street nigga, no nothing ever continue to keep doing the same thing and nothing not happen. But it seems that Charleston White is ready
to spaz out.
You've probably heard about Boxable's flagship
for clicks and for views.
Come on in.
But it seems that Charleston White is ready to, I hate to say the words, to die, man. It's like a lot of niggas be running to their grave for the bag. 50 Cent said it the best, get rich or die trying. It's a lot of people right now trying to get rich, and they
finna
die trying at the same time.
They're about to die.
This one of these mottos that 50 came up with that I don't believe in, fam. Because ain't no amount of money worth your life. You feel me? I mean, you can do whatever you need to do for your family, take care of your kids, you can leave them, but a lot of, when your kids love you, they rather have you than the dollars, fam. You know? And a lot of things Charleston White can do. I can get on here and do the same thing. I could really just go in and just bash right for the bag. Views go up. All these different things. But at the same time, I put myself in his shoes. How would I, even if I'm in the big mansions or whatever the case going on, fam, but it's how you got there. I wouldn't feel comfortable looking over my back. I want to get it in peace. I want to get to my destination in peace, fam, in one piece. I don't want to have no wrecks in between. I don't want to have no road rage with individuals in between. I just want to listen to my music. I just want to hit that highway of life and get to my destination in peace without bothering nobody. It's a difference, fam. So a lot of us out here in the game, we want to cross people to get peace or to get money or to get ahead. And at the end of the day, what you do to other people affect you in the long run. We think just because things ain't affecting us in the moment, in the day, next week, or next year, I'm here to tell you, fam, God works in mysterious ways. And situations will happen in your life that are done on you. And I keep telling y'all about these done moments. Them are God moments. When you in a relationship, or whatever the friendship.
Can y'all believe he pulled the knife and cut somebody talking about somebody though with a knife, and he pulls one. The way they talk about knives, I don't think no man should carry one. They act like it's a sin for God for somebody to pull a knife. But it's okay to have 50 million guns. Where they do that at? It's okay for a gun, but not a knife. Why? But okay. Let's go.
When after that relationship, shit start to dawn on you. You start to see things. That's when God is opening your mind. You feel me? So when the prayer, the power of prayer, he'll let things dawn on you. The prayer is there. So a lot of times, what I'm trying to say, we be so busy in life, like a Charleston White found, and them dawn on you situations that we have experiences with the Most High. You might have prayed the night before, and you had this spirit. You know, if you achieving your goals or whatever in life. But in the daytime with all the traffic and all the noise, you forget what it is, fam. But when it dawn on you again, that's God talking to you. So I'm saying all that to say, listen to your spirit more than a Charleston White or me or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? That dawn spirit is the spirit of God. That's the wake up spirit, fam.
Gotcha. So, what's the guy? Sicario. He been out for a minute. Let's hear his take on it. I love his take too. Like I like his, but Sicario, we've heard him before talk about this case. And I'm gonna see what he done picked up that they done tried to leave out. Let's go. Oh, I need to cut it up. Shout out to OG Sicario.
Texas for 2 weeks. His blood has been on those bleachers.
And I do want to say that if you have a child
Oh, he went here
that's
too.
being bullied, or you have a child that's going through something,
Oh, that's, yeah, I want to hear his take.
I ain't gonna say the Anthony family, the wonderful Anthony family that raised this murderer, did such a wonderful job. This defender, right, of liberty, this new Rosa Parks for 2025, as you
Oh my God.
They put a GoFundMe up for $100,000. It didn't get taken down. The moment, minutes after it got the $100,000, they jacked it up for more money because it's all just a con. It's all just a con.
$1 million that was donated to him after killing Trayvon Martin. Kyle Rittenhouse, after he killed 2 people in cold blood, he raised over $1 million. Wait a minute. All of us who killed Michael Brown, he raised almost $2 million.
Let's go, Sicario.
That when black folks decide to put money and support behind a young brother who didn't start a fight, who didn't threaten nobody, who was sitting where he could have right to be sitting, was threatened more than one time, was physically attacked, he defends himself, and then all of a sudden he's in jail for murder. But guess what, brother? We gonna stand behind ours like you white folks stand behind yours.
Okay, let me
that
be
young
clear.
brother was attacked.
I know you're yelling because you really get worked up when you're lying. But let me say very clear.
But it's justified.
Us killing
but if
y'all.
we defend ourselves, it's murder.
Now,
the hell with that.
I read it.
I'm not finished. You can yell, I can yell too. No, you interrupted me. You opening your mouth to me like that.
Yelling at me the whole
Don't
time. Was it a violation of school policy to come to the track meet armed with a deadly weapon?
So now, yes or no? Wait a minute.
Yes or no?
It was that
yes
kind of knife.
Or no?
It was that kind of knife.
Yes or no?
It was not that kind of knife.
Well, what kind of knife was it?
That's the lie being told.
No.
It was not no butcher knife, no kitchen knife. It wasn't no buck knife. It wasn't that kind of knife.
What kind of knife was it?
See, I'm going to be quiet right now. It's going to come out.
Oh!
Those knives that he used were the same ones they used to put them tents up.
Okay, so he was armed with a knife.
Everybody, a lot of kids had those knives putting those tents up. It's a custom knife that they used to put those tents up. He didn't bring no weapon like that.
Are you allowed
to carry a knife at school?
Charles, it was not
Yes.
that type of weapon.
Okay. Was it a
Now
knife?
we know they
Charles,
can.
It was something that they used to help erect tents.
Okay.
We were all waiting to hear the Anthony family talk for the first time on the record. It was supposed to start at 11. 10 minutes turned into 20, then 30. The reason? Austin Metcalf's father, Jeff Metcalf, had walked in.
Who was not invited? He knows that is inappropriate to be near this family.
Come on, Sicario.
He did it.
Carmelo Anthony is charged with murder in his son's death at a track meet in Frisco on April 2nd. Jeff Metcalf said nothing. He just stood and waited. The group hosting this told him to leave, or they'd call Dallas police. The group's founder,
Yeah,
Dominique
okay, here we
Alexander,
go. I know. I want to hear it. I want to hear his breakdown. He good at breaking it down
Jeff
too.
Metcalf was escorted out by DPD before the family arrived to speak. Ultimately, it was not a court order that made him leave, but because the owner of the building said he was trespassing. Metcalf shook hands with officers and then left. This press conference was about hearing from Carmelo's
One thing
mom,
we
Karen
know,
Hayes, and we
Carmelo was not
We believe in the legal
trespassing.
process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you.
The family says they've endured threats, lies, and racial harassment over the last
Oh, now they got the Aryan Nation out there.
Mostly over a fundraising page they say they haven't been able to access until Wednesday. They're fighting claims their
So mostly their anger, really, they said mostly, we heard from the bald-headed white guy, is because of money that was raised. They mad, they checking the wallet, they counting the dollar bills, and they said, these niggas done raised almost $500,000. What the fuck?
profiting off of this or living lavishly from the funds raised.
We have endured death threats. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family.
We've asked for comment from Jeff Metcalf. He told us not to quote him. We're also told this will be the last time we hear from the Anthony family before a possible trial. But that will not stop all the talk from the outside and any more surprises that have come with this case.
You shot's great,
Let's
but
go.
you shot late. High level. This is the rundown part.
Shout out to Sicario.
I'm gonna give you the rundown. I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Say, man, hey, man, it's OG Jacario. Now back at you with another one. And previously on the Rundown podcast, headed back to Frisco, Texas, where the deadly Texas track meet tragedy took place between Austin Metcalf, who's now deceased, 17-year-old athlete there from Memorial High School. Rest in peace to Austin. And we had the other teenager, both of them are 17. We have Carmelo Anthony, right? He's getting ready to graduate. Now, Austin was a junior. Carmelo is now a senior. So, with this whole situation occurring, both of these guys, athletes for both of their schools, Carmelo attending Centennial High School. Okay, this tragedy happens where people are saying, well, why come Carmelo was under the tent of Austin's Memorial High School? Why was he under the Memorial High School tent? Well, they're saying it was raining, you guys. He wanted to keep dry, right? He wanted to dodge the rain, and, till this whole thunderstorm blew over that was going on that day of the track meet. Now, one of the main things that people wanted to know is why did Carmelo have a knife? That's what they keep asking. That's what, is the repetitive question that's being asked. Well, his lawyer said that right there will be exposed. That will come out in court. We can't give y'all all the specifics right now. And even if it was a knife, like the police report stated it was a black knife that was found, that was thrown into the bleachers, okay? But we're hearing other reports, as, Cornell X said, that it might have been a tent stake that, this object was used as a weapon, allegedly, okay? Now, why are we hearing that it's a different object now? that was used besides an actual knife. Okay, who knows? But that's a discrepancy in there. Now we're hearing, it's another narrative out there that just arose saying it was a cleat sharpener. So, all these different narratives and different, things that's being said now versus, what's already put in the police report that's not reflecting. The police report is saying it was a knife. So, all this is very interesting. And it's going to be interesting to see. They say they have video of the incident. Several videos have been collected is what they said. And, this Dominique Alexander, the activist, he was being labeled as the lawyer, the black guy, Dominique Alexander. He's not the lawyer. I still see a lot of people getting that wrong.
They're doing that on purpose.
Lawyer. He's the activist, okay? Now, the lawyer is somebody totally different, okay?
They know
now,
that.
If you watch the press conference about this whole matter, it showed the lawyer actually speaking about the whole issue. So in such little time, so much has taken place in this case. With the first press conference with Dominique Alexander, the activist there at New Generation, telling the people that, look, this is what the Anthony family has to endure. They're getting threats along with the judge. Okay, she's getting threats because she let Carmelo go on a bond. They didn't want this kid out on bond at all. They want him to stay in jail, locked up until the trial, okay? So, we all know that everybody's entitled to a bond, okay? And if that's granted, right, if they find that you are not a flight risk, as this child was not, 17-year-old child wasn't a flight risk, okay? It wasn't a threat to the community, no background. And they tried to dig up a background on Carmelo Anthony. I said that in one of my previous videos. Why haven't they found anything in his background if he was such a horrible kid, right? Well, they tried to put out there that it was some sort of incident that took place where Carmelo was allegedly involved, and the school handled it on the internal side of things and didn't get law enforcement involved. Therefore, that led to him not having that on the record, on his criminal record at all.
And prosecutors revealed today that Carmelo Anthony was involved in an assault-type altercation at his school on February 4th that was handled internally by the school district. Other than that, he has an unblemished record, which is probably one of the reasons why the judge agreed to lower his bond.
So, when they brought that up, I was like, oh, so that's what they're doing now. And they tried to find a little something on Carmelo. Then they said, you do know those lies that were put out there, even repeated by the news media, saying that Carmelo got suspended for bringing a knife to school, but it was redacted, okay? The news station there, they redacted that statement, saying that they couldn't verify that, but it was told to them by law enforcement. So
why don't Hunter keep his hands to himself? They don't want to talk about that. They don't even want to bring him up.
False information, damaging information of character, right? Defamation of this 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony's character as a young black man. And it was just disgusting to see how they was running this whole campaign as if, self-defense doesn't apply to Carmelo because he's black. And they're saying that, look, had Austin did this to Carmelo, and Carmelo was allegedly bullying or, telling these tweets.
Now, you do know they're going to want to do away with self-defense and stand your ground. Y'all do know that, right? They're trying to act as if it's outdated or, so that's why you hear these, white people saying, oh, it's a coward. Oh, it's still murder. Oh, it's murder. He felt threatened. He's white. Or whatever. And this is why the activists with the background that they really want everybody to just say, oh, he's a poor representation for this family. He's just a piece of shit. He's done everything up under the sun. You know. Okay? You know, some of these people done whatever. I'm not going to play with whatever Dominique did. It's a whole bunch of folk that y'all deal with that has done worse. But they want us to just think he's so disgusting. So ban Dominique. But Dominique is holding their asses to the wall, baby. Knees on their fucking neck about it's still in the book. It's still in the book. So whether y'all say it's murder or not, the self-defense law, stand your ground law is still in the books. Now somebody else, let's just keep it real, they started hitting them with that, they gonna bow down to it because they gonna believe what they say, and nobody is gonna press that issue. No civil rights issue in 2025. That's why they want to go along and just say, oh, he's the worst thing since shitting on yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Because he's in place. Yeah. To remind them, I don't give a shit. What y'all say is still on the books. So it still applies. Whether you're trying to say it's murder, it was murder when they put it on the books. So when what did Kyle Rittenhouse say? His forefathers were strategic. They strategically put it on the books. On purpose. So when they were strategic about the laws they chose to put in the books, was it not murder? Was it murder then? It was a justifiable murder. We're not going to call it murder. We're going to call it self-defense. But somebody was unalive when they put it in the books. They knew that somebody was going to be unalive. Great deadly force. Exactly. Exactly. Well, I don't care. Anybody stab somebody and they... Oh... I think it's you're not a man if you well y'all can kick rocks. That white man skip rope all over the place with Belton and that white boy. Well, yeah, it's still murder. Yeah, but you're so polite when you say it, but you're so aggressive when it comes to coming. Oh, because y'all gave him money. So now you're concerned about our pockets. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's still murder. Yeah, and it was murder when the forefathers was giving you guys permission to unalive us. When we get aggressive, you feel threatened, you know, the big black guy. Yeah, her mouth is too smart. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all were threatened by a female's mouth and unalived them because y'all feel threatened. It wasn't murder. Yeah. Yeah. No. The law is in place. It's on the books. It's called stand your ground. Yeah. It's not murder. It's self-defense. Yeah. Per y'all law. Per y'all law. Oh, hold on. Per y'all law. Y'all made it. But again, I'm telling y'all, I don't know how many times I have to tell y'all, the law was not for us. A lot of stuff wasn't for us. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of folk don't know hell welfare wasn't for us. It didn't become a problem until we started getting on it for those who use it. Welfare, nothing of benefit was for us. It started out for them.
About the whole issue. So in such little time, so much has taken place in this case. With the first press conference with Dominic Alexander, the activist there in New Generation, you know, telling the people that, look, this is what the Anthony family has to, things that's being said now versus, you know, what's already put in the police report that's not reflecting. The police report is saying it was a knife. So, you know, all this is very interesting, and it's going to be interesting to see. They say they have video of the incident. Several videos have been collected, is what they said. And this Dominic Alexander, the activist, he was being labeled as the lawyer, the black guy, you know, Dominic Alexander. He's not the lawyer. I still see a lot of people getting that wrong. He is not the lawyer. He is an activist, okay? Now, the lawyer is somebody totally different, okay? Now, if you watch the press conference about this whole matter, it showed the lawyer actually speaking about the whole issue. So in such little time, so much has taken place in this case. With the first press conference with Dominic Alexander, the activist there in New Generation, you know, telling the people that, look, this is what the Anthony family has to endure. They're getting threats along with the judge, okay? She's getting threats because she let Carmelo go on a bond. They didn't want this kid out on bond at all. They want him to stay in jail, locked up until the trial, okay? So, you know, we all know that everybody's entitled to a bond, okay? And if that's granted, right, if they find that you are not a flight risk, as this child was not, 17-year-old child wasn't a flight risk, okay? He wasn't a threat to the community, no background. And they tried to dig up a background on Carmelo Anthony. I said that in one of my previous videos. Why haven't they found anything in his background if he was such a horrible kid, right? Well, they tried to put out there that it was some sort of incident that took place where Carmelo was allegedly involved, and the school handled it on the internal side of things and didn't get law enforcement involved. Therefore, that led to him not having that on the record, on his criminal record at all.
And prosecutors revealed today that Carmelo Anthony was involved in an assault-type altercation at school on February 4th that was handled internally by the school district. Other than that, he has an unblemished record, which is probably one of the reasons.
I'm sorry, y'all.
That's why the judge agreed to lower his bond.
So, you know, when they brought that up, I was like, oh, so that's what they're doing now. And they tried to find a little something on Carmelo. Then they said, well, hey, well, you do know those lies that were put out there, you know, even repeated by the news media, saying that Carmelo got suspended for bringing a knife to school, but it was redacted, okay? The news station there, they redacted that statement, saying that they couldn't verify that, but it was told to them by law enforcement. So they were playing a dirty game of, you know, putting disinformation and misinformation, false information, damaging information of character, right? Defamation of this 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony's character as a young black man. And it was just disgusting to see how they was running this whole campaign as if, you know, self-defense doesn't apply to Carmelo because he's black. And they're saying that, look, you know, that Austin did this to Carmelo, and Carmelo was allegedly bullying, or, you know, telling these twins, Austin and Hunter, to move. Because let's be clear. So the whole debacle is when black people use the self-defense claim, you know, as a claim in court. And why we had to take a life. It's a problem. But when a white person does it, it's no problem at all, okay? Even some people that's not even of white descent, they use the self-defense claim and get off, like George Zimmerman.
It's spinning.
Okay. So, this is the debacle. When a black man uses the self-defense claim, it's a problem. It can't be self-defense. It had to be
Hey,
murder.
Max to the boogie.
Premeditated. So this is what they're saying right now. This is the climate in America, and it has people divided. It has people.
He's spinning. Shout out to Sicario. He got the Aryan Nation wanting, Lord, wanting people to come and snatch him up. Hits from the inside. Coming from the inside. Come on, what's wrong? I didn't touch it, y'all. Hold on. Do I need to change devices? Is this one almost out of juice? No. Let me change devices. Lord. I know. They know. I ain't stopping. So I don't even know why they playing with me. Come on. There you go. Where you at? 54 minutes.
With the judge, okay, she's getting threats because she let Carmelo go on a bond. They didn't want this kid out. Was not problem. So this young high school girl that they do an interview with and ask about Anthony, right? She says she knows Carmelo from.
Room was brought to the nurse's office. We heard from 5 state witnesses today,
Wait a
including
minute.
a 911 record custodian, the Belton ISD Director of Safety and Security, 2 teachers who saw the aftermath of the stabbing, and the school nurse.
That means it sounds like several incidents, several fights that she's speaking of versus gets all the press in the world. So in a pathetic attempt to make Carmelo Anthony look like a villain or a bad guy or a troubled teen, they tried to, drum up the story about, him being a fighter and him always fighting. And they used this high school teenage girl on an interview.
I think I went down
at the
too
high
far.
school to do this.
Opened Joe's shirt, finding a gaping wound across his left chest. She also charging Case and Allison with
In campaign as if, self-defense doesn't apply to Carmelo because he's black. And they're saying that, look, had Austin did this to Carmelo, and Carmelo was allegedly bullying or, telling these twins, Austin and Hunter, to move. Because let's be clear. So the whole debacle is when black people use the self-defense claim, as a claim in court. And why we had to take a life. It's a problem. But when a white person does it, it's no problem at all.
Everybody keep their hands
Even
to
some
themselves.
people that's not even of white descent that use the self-defense claim and get off, like George Zimmerman. Okay? So, this is the debacle. When a black man uses the self-defense
Everybody keep their hands to themselves.
claim, look, it's a problem. It can't be self-defense. It had to be murder. This was premeditated. So this is what they're saying right now. This is the climate in America. And it has people divided. It has people, on the edge. And for what?
Stand
when
your
there are other
ground.
similar stories
It's
that
still in the
went
book.
on, they're just not going to trial. Right? Similar stories with stabbing at a high school out there in Belton, Texas.
Let's
that we
go.
don't even hear the media talking about.
At
But
all.
now that it's time to go to court, from 3 years ago when this incident happened at this Belton High School where a student stabbed another student.
White.
Well,
Him
we
white.
hear nothing about it. The stabber, as they call Carmelo, so the stabber in this incident at Belton, right, this white kid, stabbed a Hispanic child, killed him. No mention of that, but it's going to trial right now. We shall hear more, and now we're starting to hear. And what a coincidence!
What about Potomac?
The white, teen that was a teen at the time, because that white teen was 18, who ended up, stabbing the 17-year-old teen to death. God rest his soul.
Got underway today for Case Allison. He's charged with murder in the stabbing of Joe Ramirez at Belton High School back in May of 2022.
They're not even talking about Potomac.
Day today. She has more from this first day.
Potomac. That happened yesterday.
The 146th District Court was packed today with families, friends, witnesses, and others, all who have been waiting nearly 3 years to learn the fate of now 21-year-old Case Allison. We first heard from the state prosecutors who are charging Case Allison with murder, saying he was intentionally cutting and stabbing Joe Ramirez, to which Allison pleaded not guilty. His defense attorneys then gave their opening statement, implying it was self-defense. Defense attorney Zachary Boyd told the jury, quote, Kaysen was in the fight for his life, where he was jumped by 5 friends. We heard from 5 state witnesses today, including a 911 record custodian, the Belton ISD Director of Safety and Security, 2 teachers who saw the aftermath of the stabbing, and the school nurse. At the start of the trial, they played 5 911 calls from 2 staff members, 2 students, and a parent. In one of those calls, a girl identified Kaysen, claiming she saw him running through the parking lot with a bloody nose. They then played security footage from several cameras showing Joe and 3 others walking into a bathroom, Kaysen and another boy walking in shortly after. 5 boys, including Joe, then ran out of the bathroom and split up, with Kaysen once again running out shortly after. We also saw footage of Joe running down the main hallway, bleeding onto the floor and then collapsing. Blood immediately began to pool as teachers and staff quickly surrounded him. Many of Joe's family and friends were in tears as they watched this all play out. One witness, the first to get to Joe, said, quote, his breathing was rapid and shallow. It appeared to me as if he had a punctured lung. Another witness, the school nurse, said they gasped when they cut open Joe's shirt, finding a gaping wound across his left chest. She also shared that a student that had been in the bathroom was brought to the nurse's office and was on the phone with his mom saying, quote, Kaysen stabbed Joe.
3 years ago. So this child that's, should have been labeled the stabber, okay, he's 21 now. Yeah. So they waited 3 whole years for this to go to trial, and now we have this whole incident with Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. Now it's a black child, 17, high school, accused of stabbing.
Hey, Darren.
White kid. Gets all the press in the world. So in a pathetic attempt to make Carmelo Anthony look like a villain or a bad guy or a trouble teen,
Keep your hands to yourself,
they
baby.
tried to, drum up the story about, him being a fighter and him always fighting. And they used this high school teenage girl on an interview there at the high school to do this.
While here at Centennial, students shocked about what happened, that one of their classmates could be charged with such a serious offense. One girl that we spoke with knew Anthony pretty well, that she says, and told us this.
I'm in shock because it's like, I wouldn't expect that from him. I only know him fighting and stuff, but to take someone's life is just like a different level.
So this young high school girl that they do an interview with and ask about Anthony, right? She says she knows Carmelo from fighting. But when the investigation was done in that previous clip I showed, and they spoke about, Carmelo's background, they said only one incident came up. So how could he be known for fighting? It sounds like several incidents, several fights that she's speaking of.
They playing in our face.
When the investigation was done, they only, seen that it was one incident at that school that noted that Carmelo was involved in. But, law enforcement...
They ain't talking about Potomac, is he?
So how is he known for fighting? So was she making a false claim? Did she even know Carmelo, first of all? You know, so you know, I
Do
I
she
really
know
don't
Hannah?
feel like
Is the question.
she knew Carmelo. You know, she might have been thinking when they asked her that question about a whole different student.
Thank you,
Because
Darren.
that right there doesn't make sense. How can he be known for fighting if he never had more than one incident? If it was a fight during that incident that was found out about, right? So you have to look at it like that, that maybe that was more propaganda, you know, to make the character of the 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony
Seem bad.
look as if, you know, he was already a criminal. But in fact, he was not. So eventually we would start seeing that when they could no longer disseminate falsehoods about the Anthonys, that's when the media tried to resort to fabricating information falsely. Presently, the rumor circulating that the family of Carmelo Anthony had required a fully loaded Cadillac Escalade valued at $150,000.
Lying.
This development follows the reduction of Anthony's bond to $250,000 and his receipt of $500,000 in donations. Notably, Anthony's mother has been in possession of this Cadillac Escalade since 2023. It appears that they are unable to uncover any detrimental information about this young man, as he comes from a two-parent household with parents who earn a substantial income. He consistently achieves good grades and has no prior criminal record, and it is challenging to believe that he was subjected to bullying due to his race while attending a predominantly white school in the Frisco School District. And that brings us to the second press conference. And the family had to go explain all these lies.
Yeah, had to explain their money.
Propaganda campaigns that's being
Come
ran
on.
against their names,
Come
saying
on,
they're buying
Jacario.
new vehicles and new homes and beefing up security and this and that and this. But you know, in actuality, all this stuff was false, and it was a narrative that was put out there and it was ran with by major networks, right? Not only blog sites, but major networks, you know, reported on it. Nancy Grace, she spoke on it.
Breaking news tonight, the Texas track star stabber walks free.
Have you talked about Potomac?
Free after a brutal stabbing.
Have you talked
of a
about
football
Potomac,
star.
Nancy?
This as the victim's family is attacked. The victim's mother's home swatted. This, as we learn, the killer's family is set to buy a new house with donations.
Others who have big platforms on social media,
Just
they spoke
lying.
on it. Now, you know, the whole thing got blown out of proportion, and now it comes back to, hey, it's a lie. These people been stayed in this house. These
Been
people
had
been
money.
had this Escalade since 2023.
Y'all been hating.
Want these black people, the Anthony family, gone out the neighborhood all of a sudden because their son is back home, out on bond, and yes, for murder. Austin Metcalf. And people are furious. They're pissed. Like, how could this happen? Well, it's called America. It's
Yeah.
called, you know, a process of justice.
It's called
And
innocent
everybody
until
has
proven
no
guilty.
Right. Just like all the others who claim self-defense, who went home.
Absolutely.
You know, and who got a bond or things of that nature.
It's blowing my mind
who
that they
also-
don't think that this kid should have the same rights as everybody else. The law don't apply to us. They created the law to protect them against us. How dare you allow it to be used against them? Just the bottom line. It's just the bottom line. And every time I speak this truth, they're telling me that I am a racist. How? For wanting equality? Yes. It was murder when y'all created it. And I don't know what stand your ground means to you. Don't get mad at me. Yeah, it means the same thing.
You know, allowed to be out until the trial started and began.
You think they run? Bryant, they been running it.
My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to reboot that other one to see if she talked about Potomac.
To make sure we're in the best financial position.
She better have talked about Potomac. Oh yeah, they didn't like that either, y'all. Y'all do know that, right? This nigga correct is a what? A stay-at-home mom. A stay-at-home mom. So you mean his daddy is so well kept that he takes care of his wife? Huh? Oh, huh? Put your hand on your chest, Kayla. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. And then, you know, Becky with the good hair said, well, if I have to get up and go to work every day, who does she think she is? Who are these black people? And then people are giving them money. They're giving them money. They don't need it. They're trying to live a life no, boo. She is a kept woman. That's what we call a kept woman. Yeah. Don't hate. Don't hate. Ooh, they mad.
Our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation.
Let me look up Nancy Grace.
Police, husband had to take a leave of absence.
I'm sorry.
He's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is.
You know, she spoke about how this was affecting their family, the threats, the lies, saying that they're spending the money and people ain't even checked the gifts and GoFund. The money was still in there when the lies were rolling in.
They knew that.
The money when you can go to the site and see that the money is still on the site.
They knew that.
How are we spending the money? Make it make sense. See, people are just so stupid, man. People are just...
They're just evil-hearted.
So mentally challenged these days.
They ain't mentally challenged. They evil.
The whole time they were saying this family was out spending the money from the donations, the money was still posted on the...
They just like lying. Sicario, they like lying. They would rather lie and spread this fake narrative because they hate. Yeah, they hate. And then they'll come up with excuses as to why. That's hate.
Site, and the family had no access to it. It went to that same day of the press conference, I believe, that they were saying that they finally had access, that they were accepted, to start receiving the money because of the process that had to take place before getting the money from the Give, Send, Go account.
Hi, Tanika P.
Rittenhouse has spoken out about this whole matter with Carmelo and Austin.
Oh, yeah.
And, he speaks out after being mentioned in that press conference regarding the Frisco track meet stabbing. He says, so the left thinks that what Carmelo Anthony did was self-defense. But what
he has no right with his mentally insane ass.
This makes sense. Now, this is what Kyle Rittenhouse is saying. Like, hey, man, say, man.
Nancy.
They saying that what he did is self-defense. Why come what I did wouldn't? Now, this is what Rittenhouse, is asking social media. Now, Dominique Alexander said that this would be the last press conference that you will hear from the Anthonys until the trial. And if anything shall come up, maybe, they might address something, until further notice. But, we also hear that in that press conference, you have Austin Metcalf's father, Jeffrey Metcalf, showing up. And, with a stone cold look on his face, just observing and analyzing, the Anthonys, and I'm guessing Mr. Dominic Alexander himself was also getting sized up by old Jeff Metcalf, and he walked in there looking like RoboCop with that sling on his arm and elbow. Yeah, had his glasses on. Yeah, man, he had that look in his eye, even though you couldn't see his, his natural eye. You could see those eyes through those sunglasses. That's right. And Jeffrey Metcalf wasn't invited, but, he chose to show up to the family, okay, of the killer, right, at this press conference and be close to them. Now, nobody knows why Jeffrey wanted to be close, to the Anthonys. That right there is kind of dangerous. Now, this is the thing. Jeffrey Metcalf shows up to this press conference.
He didn't say nothing.
That, the son of the Anthonys, right, Carmelo, can't be around the Metcalfs. That'd be a violation of his bond. So why is Jeffrey Metcalf coming to where a press conference is taking place where, Carmelo's family
That was invitation only.
Why would, you, sir, Mr. Metcalf, come around Carmelo's family? We don't know if you got a weapon on you. You might have some ill will harbor towards the Anthonys and want to do harm. How do we know?
Yeah.
Right? What your true intentions is, sir. Even though you said you forgive Carmelo and this and that and that and this, right?
God
makes
that
no
mistakes. It's time to stand up.
Jeffrey Metcalf's
They want to
face
call it.
was very
Stand your ground.
and
No,
very
let's stand up.
Where his mind is at, you guys? Because
Well, legally,
something's definitely going
we gotta stand our ground.
And the news isn't, covering the Metcalfs like everybody else is. And they're saying
And nor is Nancy Grace covering Belton, the white boy, stabber, murderer, self-defensor. She's not covering it. And nor did she cover Potomac. And, that happened yesterday. No, 6 hours ago she was on the blonde-headed girl, the hairdresser. Yeah, she didn't touch it. She didn't touch it. Nancy, where you at? Get your ass out here. Get your funky face ass out here and cover those white kids. You cover them and say disgusting things to them. Don't act as white as your face. Yeah. Get your ass up and cover the white kid. Yeah. Get your ass up.
that charge that Jeffrey has. They're saying, look, this is not Jeffrey. This is look, man. Allegedly, this is what
Sicario.
Okay. That charge.
I want to hear his input. He been away.
I don't know, the specifics of the matter.
Oh yeah, we are definitely in it. Oh, this is definitely warfare.
That SA charge that they're saying that the media isn't exposing about Austin Metcalf's father. All right, they're saying yes, this is real, true information. Hey, take it for from what it is. It's alleged.
The same thing.
You have the people that are saying, well, he has a right to be there. He's the father of Austin.
No, not if he wasn't invited. Stop making excuses. Oh, he was not invited. Get your ass up out. her handler won't allow her. Yeah, I mean, what? There, it's a trial. She ain't had nothing to say.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
He tried it. They show taking a long time. There go Billy Boy, Cowboy. That's his friend. That's his hired help. He the hired help.
Together. If we can swing over here, and swing across the wall, we have security that are here in.
Yeah, I like to hear OG Jacario's take on it. But I want him to bring up Potomac. OG Jacario, bring up Potomac. Bell, you brought up Belton, but bring up Potomac. The teacher, the principal, superintendent didn't even want to call a lockdown a lockdown. She didn't want to call it a lockdown, but the kids couldn't leave. Talking about covering it up.
We're not going to ask anybody something twice. Okay? I will make sure that the
Say I'm not gonna ask you twice. Get your ass stop out of here.
just know that's coming at the direction of me. All right?
Y'all really think this man care about what y'all say about him? That man do not give a rat's ass.
Father being at this press conference. These are my words. Don't quote anybody.
My words.
It's a disrespect to the dignity.
I say what I mean and I mean what I say.
This generation that you know from the beginning has respected of life.
Now y'all, on the serious tip, come on here, this is a long one, Jacario, but y'all listen, on the serious tip, that's like me when they coming in there with that bull crap and I say, listen, I asked what should be done to Hunter. They don't like when you pull that card and you get stern and firm with their asses. Yeah, I knew that you couldn't do it. They don't like that. That's why they don't like you. I'm gonna say it one time. That was disrespectful. and he talking through his teeth. If I wanted you here, I would have sent you an invitation. Woo, you called that first AunTeaFee about her. I told you. And they still don't want to talk about Hunter. Yes. Illis, did you talk about the stabbing in Potomac? In Virginia? Yeah, with authority, a matter of factly. I will not repeat it twice. I'm going to stand my ground and handle my business. Got his brother killed. Absolutely. Got his brother taken right on up out of there. And that's why when I asked them what should be happen to Hunter for starting it, they want to come up a mother. I ain't asked you shit about no mother. I asked you what should be. And I'm telling you, they trying to absolutely leave him out. They moonwalking with Hunter like a Michael Jackson. They do not want to talk about. So now it wasn't a 2-on-1. It was a 1-on-1 because they are trying to genie Hunter ass up out of there like zing, like dap their head like he ain't there. Like he wasn't there. Shit. You ain't hear about Potomac stabbing yesterday in the school? Superintendent didn't even want to say it was a lockdown, wanted it to be so hush-hush. It was bloody, I ain't gonna even lie. Yes. Hunter started it. And now every time you hear something, they start with Austin. Nope. You cannot start with Hunter. I mean, with Austin. You have to start with Hunter. Everything is off if they do not start with Hunter. And that's the delay in the process. I'm going to tell you that shit now. The delay in process is Hunter.
We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about.
Now it's can we, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to do the protest. No, what you're representing is not what we want. Well, hell, it was before that DA told you on the golf course that it ain't looking good because ain't no way, we done tried everything up under the damn sun and it's all coming back to Hunter. And, the school rules don't say nothing about a problem with him being up under the tent because in the school rule don't have nothing about no rival where you against another student because that is creating a student on student discord, disconnect, hostile. So are y'all promoting that? So he can't be up under the tent in the pouring rain? Oh, okay. So yeah, that's the school rule. Is it in the book? Oh, it's not. Well, who authorized it? Baby, they better not tag me. They better not tag me to say nothing. Baby, if they ever tag me to come represent them, I'ma wear their asses out. I'ma have their asses so politically astute, as the white man told me, of corporate America. Well, you're politically astute. I can be. Yes, I can. Yeah, I would wear they monkey asses out. So y'all better stick with him, boo, because if they ever ask me to speak on their behalf, I'ma hurt all they fucking feelings. Let's go. Made me lie too. That's where they got it from. They've been nothing but respectful.
I disagree with you. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same matter of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be as later, is that was disrespectful. It just shows you all.
Kevin, how many years is Hunter gonna get for starting for a robbery? They say it's robbery for grabbing his bag. And they also said that it was assault when he pushed. So what should happen to Hunter, Kevin Brown? We'll wait. That's all we want to know from you. What should happen to Hunter? He started it. He's the reason his brother was unalived. Yeah, because he assaulted. And they say grabbing his bag was robbery. Hey, T in the kitchen. No, I don't have a panel link. I don't get enough. Okay, so you can't answer my question, Kevin Brown? Yeah, it's allowed in schools if it's under 5.5 inches, the blade. So again, I'm going to ask you, Mr. Brown, what should happen to Hunter for grabbing his bag and putting his hands on him. That's all we need to know from you. We know all about that. It's not illegal in Texas if it's under 5.5 inches. So now, what should happen to Hunter for assault and robbery? And you got 1 minute to respond. 1. Talk quick, not slick. Y'all say bye to Kevin. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Bye. Yeah. They never want to go there with that knee. Grow. That's how that KNEE grow. Yeah. Pet. Cowood. Yeah.
The character who is not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family. But he did. And so I say to people, actions.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, T is the Teal Kitchen. I don't get that type of support to pay for all of that extra stuff like that. Oh, okay, you reporting tomorrow. You trying to you trying to get your name out there on the cool. You reporting on this tomorrow? Okay, well, shout out to T in the Teal Kitchen. Support the platform, T with the Teal Kitchen. Oh, you know me from Max. Okay. Girl, you better tell me. Max. Shout out to Max Boogie. Okay. You get a pass. Hey, Teal, T with the Teal Kitchen. Hey.
What he has failed into is the political opposite.
So what, exclusive?
That want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism.
Listen, I don't care how many times. So every time I ask them when they come over here trying to force that, I ask the same question. I ask the same one, and none of them will answer it. I mean, none of them. It's like they cannot. That is the law is in the books, but the law is not for you guys to use against us. So I absolutely cannot say Hunter should be punished for that. No, I can't. I just cannot. Because that law was not meant for y'all to use against us. That law is meant for us to use against you guys. We don't want it to be murder on our hands, but when y'all use it, it's murder. It's murder. Yeah. When we push and grab y'all stuff, nothing should turn your head and look the other way. But if y'all push us and grab our stuff, it's robbery and it's assault. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Y'all gonna learn today.
About this case. It is outright disrespectful.
Cat snatch their tongue, baby, every time.
Generation Action Network has been here. Popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful.
You're so very welcome, T in the Teal Kitchen.
And I will leave it to y'all to define.
Make sure if you talk about it tomorrow, you talk about Potomac. Yeah, in Belton, where they were non-African American, a stand your ground self-defense case. They really don't want to talk about that. They're only in outrage with the black kid. I'm telling you, the superintendent in Potomac didn't even want to call it a lockdown, but the kids couldn't leave the school premises. Well, what is that? If their parents there to pick them up and you saying they can't go, whether they have ID or not, what is that called? A lockdown. She didn't want to call it a lockdown. That looks bad when the school is on lockdown. Yeah, okay.
He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
Jeff Metcalf said nothing. He just stood and waited. The group hosting this told him to
Stay
leave,
crazy.
or they'd call Dallas police. Jeff Metcalf was escorted out by DPD before the family arrived to speak. Ultimately, it was not a court order that made him leave, but because the owner of the building said he was trespassing.
And I didn't see
Metcalf shook hands with officers and then left.
no African Americans.
You know, I mean, why did he have to come, inject himself at the press conference and make a spectacle of himself, basically, because that's exactly what ended up happening with him being removed, by the owner of the building, as was said in that clip I played, right? According to reports, the people who owned that building had Jeffrey Metcalf removed from their property, right? So not only was it for the safety of the family, but it was for, security reasons as well.
Absolutely.
Now, after Jeff Metcalf was kicked out of that press conference, there was breaking news of a swatting call
You lying.
made,
I don't believe
Thursday to an address involving the family of the Frisco teenager who was fatally stabbed at a track meet.
Now he getting death threats. I thought he was the poster of a love child.
Morning News this information. And Frisco police said that officers responded earlier in the evening to a gunshot call. It was addressed to the Austin Metcalf's family house. Wow. God. Now, this swatting call occurred at Jeffrey Metcalf's address because, of course, Austin Metcalf's parents, they're not together no more, so it's two separate households he was bouncing back and forth from, and they swatted Jeffrey, the father's house. It says this: a home connected to the family whose 17-year-old son, Austin Metcalf, was fatally stabbed at a Frisco track meet was swatted Thursday evening. Frisco PD said the officers responded to a gunshot call at an address which turned out to be the home of Jeff Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's father. WFAA confirmed. Metcalf told WFAA nobody was home at the time, but he arrived 5 minutes later. So if you don't know what this thing of swatting is, it says it's a term used when fake threats are called into authorities with the express purpose of drumming up a large police response. Police also confirmed to WFAA that the home of Metcalf, Austin Metcalf's mother, was swatted on the night of April 8th. Wow. So at this point, we have both of the Metcalf's homes, the mother and the father. Like I said, they're separated. Home swatted at this point. That's nasty work.
I don't know what he had in his arm sling.
Showed up to a press conference hosted by the parents of Carmelo Anthony, the teen accused of stabbing Metcalf's son. The press conference was delayed about 50 minutes as a result. And it's just because Jeff Metcalf showed up, right? They tried to get him out of there for the whole press conference started. And the police escorted Metcalf out of the building without incident. At the press conference,
he wanted a reaction. He wanted to get them out their body.
Threats and lies. Anthony was released from jail on Monday.
Come on, Jacario.
Judge Angela Tucker earlier in the day decided to significantly reduce Anthony's bond amount from $1 million to $250,000.
Just stay close, okay?
I'm a criminal.
Carmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to
Thank
the
you,
victim,
LP.
to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Carmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Because somebody put their hands on him and grabbed his property. How do you supposed to be intelligent people not know that? How was this self-defense with Kyle Rittenhouse? And he shot them people in the back. Why did what's his name, Kaysen, have a blade at school? Why did the little white kid have one at school? You know, that y'all not covering. Take your asses up there and cover that and ask them that.
Very creepy, demonic, satanic posture and look that lady, that reporter, she had on her face when Carmelo got in that Suburban, right? I mean, it was very creepy how she was under-eyed looking at Carmelo, like she was possessed of some sort with evil at that time when she was trying to ask that question that he dodged. Carmelo didn't say nothing. When she said, hey, why did you have a weapon at school? Carmelo never answered, leaving her with this perturbed, evil look on her face.
Yeah.
And that was very, very
suspicious. Oh, he's
now, in recent news, they're saying that Austin Metcalf's father, Jeffrey Metcalf, right, has addressed this white racist.
Oh, come on, Shakari. I'm gonna have to fast forward. I don't want to see that.
Down, right? Or at least when it seems like they're taking advantage of their people being down.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, at the end of the day, man, you know, this guy said a lot of things that, you know, that would be similar to a Charleston White. He just didn't say it in, you know, the way that a Charleston White would say it. You know, he said it more of a, you know, conservative and, you know, passive way. Okay, put it like that. And, yeah, man,
Zakario, do you know that Charleston White stabbed somebody, cut him with a blade yesterday or the day before? You know, he was talking about, this is what killed me about these men talking about, it's a coward. It's so you rather, if somebody gonna have a weapon, you rather it be a gun, right? But okay, but it's coward, you know. And then Charleston White, hell, he not only had a knife, he had mace. Is that manly for men to have mace? I mean, I'm just asking. Yeah, but when a 17-year-old defends himself, so Charleston White can feel threatened when somebody get too close to him, you know, he ain't put hands on him. He just got close to his space. And he felt what? Threatened. And guess what he did? He slit their head to the white meat. What's the difference? He's gonna say, oh, well, did nobody die? Yeah, but he wasn't planning for nobody to die either. And you cutting folk in the head, hell, it could have. It just wasn't his time to go. Yeah, so he felt threatened. Didn't nobody put hands on him. They didn't touch him. They just got too close. And that's what I tried to say before. We always say, hey, back up. You know, don't get in my space. Don't touch me. That young man didn't say nothing no different than we say all the time. And when we say it, we mean it. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Yeah, they being hypocrites. They're being hypocrites. How dare Charleston White pull out a blade and cut somebody in their head? Oh, no, dog. You don't get nothing for that.
Has the same views, or it's hard to believe that he really has the same views to protect white people, you know, more than his own race.
Selective empathy, yeah.
You know, so, I mean, I guess, man. I mean,
Nah.
anything is possible.
Another reason why this
Oh, I
protest
can't do
today,
him.
all these people that agree with us, but they're in their those who are fearful.
I can't.
No, I can't with that.
You have bail bond. If you was to do something, Aiden Ross, if you was to, you know, with Jake Lane, I was focused on the Carmelo Anthony case. You know, Aiden Ross has a perception. He has a opinion. He has a thought to give to his people, as if, you know, well, why is he even free at all? Because hey, it's a system where they have bonds.
They act like they ain't never heard this before.
If you was to do something, Aiden Ross,
they act like they've never heard of a bail's bond before.
Right, and have to defend yourself in a court of law. You too would have a right to have a bond if you're not a flight risk.
They don't. Oh, my phone cutting down.
Messing with little children. So I mean, hey, what are we talking about, Aiden Ross? You don't have a point, Bucko. So what are we talking about here? So Aiden Ross is just another person that's perpetuating the hate for Carmelo Anthony being able to have rights and be out on bond, like it's his right.
They kill me acting like they. Oh wow.
That's how it works. I mean, it doesn't matter how, you know, the perception of a stream.
I know they know I'm coming back.
Or like Aiden Ross thinks that it should be. No, it's not how Aiden Ross thinks life should be. Life is life, okay? And then Aiden Ross became a streamer and started talking about life, but doesn't want to face the facts that, hey, this is Carmelo's right as much as it was the PDF file's right to, you know, get a bond and be out, you know, until their trial starts for messing with little children.
Oh,
so,
no.
I mean, hey,
oh, no.
what are we talking about?
Oh, no.
You don't
surely not. Not nobody messing with no children.
You're just trying to drum up more division.
Who was messing with children? Oh, I know everybody and their mama need to go be protesting him, huh? What? You have an opinion and you be messing with children? What? Oh, what? What? You better be glad I don't have much juice. I can't lift this up.
And be out, you know, until their trial. It's not how Aiden Ross thinks life should be.
Aiden Ross.
Life is life, okay? And then Aiden Ross became a streamer and started talking.
And you got so mad that black people was helping them that you gave a large donation. Yeah. Yeah. That didn't hurt us. We don't care what you do with your money. Y'all care what we do with ours. Aiden. Do you play with kids? Oh, wow.
I just want to face the facts that, hey, this is Carmelo's right as much as it was the PDF file's right to, you know, get a bond.
Oh,
you know,
to the now.
For messing with little children. So, I mean, hey, what are we talking about, Aiden Ross?
Aiden.
You don't have a point, Bucko. You really have nothing, okay? You're just trying to drum up more division. You're just trying to drum up more hatred, okay, for
more divide.
The darker skinned, pigmented, you know, melanated people, all right, with this situation. So this is what, you know, I get from this whole situation of Aiden Ross commenting about the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation. Now, Aiden Ross also said, tell your teachers or parents if you're getting bullied, right? Now, you know, he made that statement as if, you know, Carmelo.
My wife and I sent.
See, the facts are out. They didn't know.
Oh, that's awesome.
They had already been previously bullied anywhere. So they didn't know each other. No previous bully attempts occurred until, you know, Austin tried to bully him on the spot. This is what this is about. It's not about being previously bullied because they didn't know each other to had a bullying situation before.
Yeah, that was a lie.
So the bullying situation only occurred when they first met. Let's be clear about that. Okay, a lot of people are confused about the bullying situation when people are saying, you know, he tried to bully, right, Carmelo Anthony out of the seat where he was sitting under the tent. That's a bullying situation. We're not talking about they knew each other previously and they had tension already and
that's a lie.
from previous situations, because that's false. They never knew each other before this situation. That's the facts. So I don't understand why people don't understand, why it can't comprehend that, the bullying situation occurred right then, the first time that they met with, the Austin and Hunter twins. They tried to
bully him,
right, Carmelo, from under the tent. Do we understand now? It's not hard
they can't
to
comprehend.
Understand, but
they can't
people are making it, rocket science or something.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they never knew each other.
Give them the rundown.
Bullying situation happened when they first met.
Uh-huh.
Bullying situations happen a lot of
2-on-1 first meet. Yeah. 2-on-1
situations where people never knew each other and get into altercations where, things like this happen.
Right.
So, this is not the first time, and it definitely
MEMPHIS.
the last. So as
here we go.
With seeing the case of Allison,
Belton.
Case and trial just now.
He white. So he was a white stabber. They ain't talking about Belton, Texas.
Stabbed Joe,
another
student there in the
but
restroom.
But let's be clear. He stuck him 4 times.
And how long with this case? This, Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf.
They jumped Melo.
Case,
they know it. They sure did.
Trial, because it seems as if 2-3 years is normal when these type of cases are going on. So even with all the facts out there and the family doing 2 different press conferences,
he stuck him 4 times.
Alexander setting a point clear numerous amounts of times. People are still reporting mis and disinformation
on purpose. On purpose. But let me say this to you, Shikario and the tea sippers. If it was just so cut and dry, he would have been indicted by now. Let's be clear. They would have came up with something. That happened on the 2nd, and today is the 24th, and he still ain't been indicted. The DA said he's only been arrested. That's, at this point, it's just an arrest. He's only been arrested for those charges. Yeah. He don't want to officially say that because, the case hasn't been brought to me just yet. They're still investigating. For how long? I thought it was just cut and dry because he had a knife on school property. Huh? Oh, okay. So, so if you charge him, you have to charge Hunter, the one that they don't want to talk about, the one who started it, because you can't get to C and D without A and B. Oh yeah, and the Metcalfs are not can't emotionally handle some Hunter being charged. How can he be charged for and he didn't stab his brother? What are we doing here? Greg Willis, what are we doing here? What are you saying to me? That's what would have happened if he was black. What do you mean? And he started it, and the murder happened because he started with an assault and robbery for grabbing his bag, taking his property, huh? Threatening bodily harm. Oh yeah, I'm threatened. If you grab my property and threaten to put your hands on me if I don't leave, oh yeah, I'm afraid for my life. And it's 2 against 1? Yeah. So you're having a problem figuring out how y'all can do this and leave Hunter out. Can't happen, baby. It can't happen. So I'm gonna say that's the delay. Yeah. And Frisco ISD don't have no policy that someone from another school couldn't sit up under that tent, because that's a liability. That rivalry stuff is creating hate and divide, tension. Yeah, in the rain. Oh yeah, that's a lawsuit, baby. Let one of them coaches or something say I gave him permission to put his hands on him, and see, don't a lawsuit come.
It's ridiculous at this point. It's redundant.
It's redundant.
When are they going to realize that we see exactly what's going on here?
Absolutely.
And we know for a fact.
Carmelo
and his family isn't getting any type of sympathy.
Absolutely.
As far as if, anybody else would have played self-defense, right? Being a white guy that was defending himself against a black person.
Like Kaysen, he white. Kaysen Allison.
How would this thing be looked at?
They ain't talking about it.
Since it's Carmelo using his invoking his right to say, hey, it's self-defense. I told him don't touch me.
Hands up
on
off
me.
me.
Did it, right? I told him touch me and see what happens. Punch me and see what happens. He did all those things, allegedly. And this is the outcome of that whole situation. So to be clear, it wasn't a thing of past bullying issue between Carmelo Anthony, who went to a different high school than the Metcalf twins. No. This was instantaneously. This was a situation that occurred where, somebody tried to tell somebody what to do, and that person refused to do what, these people told him to do, right? He didn't know these people. That, situation just occurred out the blue between strangers. And this is how it turned out. So don't be bamboozled. Don't be fooled into thinking that, these teenagers knew each other, because the facts are out that Austin Metcalf and Hunter Metcalf did not know Carmelo Anthony. Now, another issue that's being, talked about is, will Carmelo be able to graduate? Because, he is a senior, and they're denying him
he on house arrest.
To the campus, being able to walk the stage and everything else with his other peers, his classmates.
I hope they let him.
His graduation this year. So, they're trying to fight for his rights to do that, being that this case isn't, actually filed as, like an indictment yet. So I'm thinking they're saying, since it's not, being looked at as an indictment, only a charge, they're trying to get him to graduate on time here in May, when school, has.
Oh Lord, we gotta pray that through.
As well.
We gotta pray that through.
Y'all get in the comments.
Cause he haven't been charged, and again, remember, he's innocent until proven guilty. The presumption of innocence, right? Yeah, we want all of that. We want every bit of it that they use, we are using. So he is innocent until proven guilty. Hell, they haven't even indicted him. While people are running around here talking about, oh, he's guilty. Hell, they have not indicted him. So they haven't even confirmed nothing. They ain't know that man, they ain't nowhere near. They don't have the evidence put together on his desk. I wonder why. And like I said yesterday, if their stories are starting with Austin and Carmelo, it's bullcrap, because it started with Hunter. We will not pacify Hunter. We will not remove Hunter from the equation, because it started with Hunter, and Hunter sacrificed his brother. He started that mess, and he knew that his brother was going to come and jump in and be the bully and get aggressive, because that's what he said out of his mouth. And Fox 4, 8, 11, and all of those channels were intentionally not playing the part where he confessed confessed out of his mouth. So with the bald-headed white man saying, oh, there's no facts, that Hunter said it himself. That he was the one who said something to him first, and he was the one who turned around. He was the one that Austin came to rescue. Okay? We will not overlook Hunter. Absolutely not. So if those testimonies are not, witness statements are not including Hunter, it's bullshit, and they know it. Okay, good people. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank you. 2 shows. Woo, Lord, y'all know I'm tired. Y'all have a good one. Mwah. Mwah. Press the like button on the way out.